G'day, friends. Maloa here. We are gonna be heading into what will hopefully be the last little bit of um, the Legacy of Morgoth here. We have made it to the final map, which is Uroshdar, and hopefully we'll be wrapping up some of these quests today. Don't know how far we'll get. But let's just dive in. Gonna start right here with Gandalf.
In elder days, the world was greatly changed from its present form, and Morgoth coveted it all.
His fortress at Thangorodrim served as the seat of his power, but his servants went forth and established the control of their master in lands far distant. One such dominion subjugated for centuries the territory that is called Shagana, or near Harad by the Gondorians. The tyrants of this dominion served Morgoth in all things. Their empire was called Zakar, and trustworthy accounts of it have disappeared. What remains of its history is hard to decipher by any but the most learned among the wise. But to understand the rise of Zakar, you must learn first of the Kintai, the elves who did not join the Valar in the west. They once knew a great deal about Zakar, but in the centuries since that empire disappeared, they have tried to forget. During the early years of the First Age, various kingdoms of men began to arise throughout Shagana. The Kinta elves gave them a wide berth, withdrawing into the emerald wood that once covered vast portions of the region. The young kingdoms of men did not miss the Kintai, but focused instead upon commerce with the Tamamir dwarfs they encountered. But the Kinta clans and the tribes of men shared more in common than they believed, for they were each the hated foes of Morgoth, and he wanted them destroyed. His servants reserved particular torments for the Kintai, luring them through guile and deceit into hidden caverns beneath the eastern hills, where they were subjected to terrible desecrations. These imprisoned Kintai were twisted into the progenitors of a terrible breed of orc, the like of which has not been seen since the dominion of Zakar ended. The Elder Orcs. These were the Elder Orcs, fashioned in the pits beneath Zakar by foul craft of Morgoth. Memory of them faded over the passage of centuries. Even the name that was given to them, Utugi, brought to mind only dimly remembered images, unfamiliar and indistinct demons of the ancient world. The Utugi possessed a size, strength, and cunning that Sauron coveted but could not replicate. The orcs he bred in later years could not match those that belonged to his master, and that deficiency rankled. But the Utugi were not the worst of the evils loosed upon the world by the dominion of Zakar. Though they passed beyond all living memory in the years since, these were the Tharduth, the seer ones, and they served Morgoth in all things. They even look like elves, although gray-skinned. The eldest of the Kintai were twisted and corrupted into these seer ones by rites too vile to contemplate. The Tharduth rose in importance and power until they had become the deadliest rulers of Zakar. Morgoth charged them with maintaining a tyrannical hold over the lands of the east and south, breeding as many elder orcs as they could for his war. When the call came at last, orcs and wicked men departed for the north in vast numbers, swelling Morgoth's hordes in the distant Beleriand. But Morgoth's might did not prevail against the combined forces of the elves and the Valar, and when Beleriand sank beneath the sea of Dugi sent by The Tharduth were drowned and forgotten. Following the defeat of their dark master, the Tharduth remained in Zakar, feared uprisings by the emboldened men of Shagana, but so too they feared the reprisal of Sauron, who they blamed in part for Morgoth's defeat. Using all of their sorcerer's powers, they set a gaze upon their vaults, sealing them shut and deeming that their location should never be found so long as any lived in Middle Earth who remembered them. They took what remained of their Utugi deep into their sealed vaults, and with witchcraft caused them to sleep, never again to awake, while their halls remained shut. Last they did the same to themselves, lying down in the dark depths to await the hoped-for day when they could return to the living world above. The Grim Southron. Memory of the Utugi and the Tharduth dimmed. In time, only the very eldest of the Kintai surviving the Shagana remembered these servants of Morgoth. As they began to fade in the manner of their people, those memories vanished with them. But Sauron remembered. In the ages that followed, he sent his servants to seek the hidden vaults of the Tharduth, hungering for their power and the secret of breeding anew the mighty Utugi. The Nazgûl searched for the Seer Ones, but they searched in vain. The gaze of Morgoth remained effective. Sauron despaired of ever locating the lost vaults, and turned his attention and his cunning to other matters. I believe now that Sauron could never break the gaze of Morgoth, for so long as he remembered the Tharduth, the enchantment of the Seer Ones could not be undone. But then the most unlikely of events transpired. Frodo Baggins accepted the quest for the ring. Sauron's ring was destroyed. Morgoth's greatest servant perished. The Tharduth passed beyond the memory of any who lived in the world, and the seal upon their hidden vaults was broken. Sauron was gone, but the Seer Ones, servants of Morgoth, his dark master, were loosed once again upon the world.
If only I had learned this before now.
The deadly spirits of Thuringwath knew of Sauron's rivalry with his banished master, and of his search for the unknown powers of Morgoth left behind. But they were slow to reveal these things to me. From their speech and from evil runes carved into the very foundations of Mordor, I have pieced together this tale, but the learning came slowly. Too slowly, Miloa. When I understand the magnitude of this threat, I return to Minas Tirith with all the haste Shadowfax had to give. I send word to our trusted allies, and our lean band hurried south through Harundor with utmost speed. We must fight, Miloa. We must fight this legacy of Morgoth, or the Seer Ones will restore the dominion of Zakar and bring about a new age of darkness in Middle-earth.
We will not cower before this threat, no matter how deadly the foes arrayed before us.
Have we not powerful allies of our own? When I walked in this land many years ago, the folk here called me Inkanush. Now I call upon my own memory of their language to name this camp Ilzak Kul, the last barrier against evil. From here we will prepare our defense against the Tharduth and the Tugi they created. It will have to be enough. Speak to our allies here at Ilzak Kul and devise a plan, Miloa.
The old man that came from the north speaks strangely.
And uses words unfamiliar to me. But one thing was clear. Rothog bares his fangs in a brilliant and blinding smile. The orcs we have seen before now are the merest imitations of a stronger and larger breed, the Utugi. I am eager to test my combat prowess against these foes. If they are similar to the warriors who fight in Dahal huliz, they will attract smaller and weaker orcs to them as servants and thralls. The sheer force of their presence will draw other orcs to them. Bring the battle to these weaker orcs, and we may catch the attention of these Utugi. I hope it will be so.
The Wizard of the North weaves a curious tale, but I have seen little evidence of these creatures.
That have so frightened him. We should keep our attention upon the purpose that brought us here, the pursuit of Azigath and Nagasi. The map they stole may have directed them to some location within these canyons. This was once a part of the kingdom of Hamat, before it was conquered by Urdak. They may have searched for the once mighty fortress of Ashagir, said to remain here. While you were visiting the elves, we spoke with a scout who claimed Azagoth alone crossed into Urushdar. That may be true, but I caution you to not lower your guard overmuch. We must search the canyons carefully, for Nakasi may remain hidden from our sight, waiting for her moment to strike. I do not wish to leave this camp without reason, for she may think to attack her former allies who remain with the kindred of the coins. Still, we must search these canyons. Kholtek raises his hand in a gesture of sudden realization that feels quite artificial to you. I have it! I will give you a parchment, and when you find the entrance to Ashagir, you can draw me a map of the location. Then I will be able to go straight there, minimizing the risk of ambush by Nakazi. It is a good idea, Maloa. Ashagir is said to be somewhere to the south-northwest. Yeah, let me do all the work again. Glorfindel.
On the ride south from Gondor, Mithrandir spoke to me of the Tharduth and the Utugi.
I knew them not, Maloa, for when the dominion of Zikar was at its height, I was far away, and otherwise engaged. The size and scope of the danger posed by Morgoth to the world is difficult to convey. When later I learned of the breaking of Thangorodrim, and of his defeat in the great battle by the host of Valinor, Glorfindel falls silent, lost in distant memory. I knew it to be true, and still I could not believe it. He is gone, and can never return, but the seed he planted in this land seeks to burst through the crust after years of lying dormant. That cannot but affect the creatures here, and perhaps they will tell us something of how to combat this waking evil. Will you gather the teeth and claws of jackals and Kraban within Urushdar? By studying them, I hope to learn something of use. Okay. And now we've got a series of places to go explore again. Okay. There's a jackal. For jackal and Kraban. And I guess we'll work our way to a ring up there. Why not? Nope, nothing we need. got all the jackals. I'm gonna make my way up here because I don't have that stable. Let's see if we can find some craban. Jackal, scorpion, scorpion. Nope. Tortoise, scorpion, jackals. Lots of jackals. No craban. Ah! Tortoise, scorpions, jackals. Ah, here's an orc. Nope. Well, at least we'll get the stable. Stable's gonna be outside.
Nico, it is good to see you.
Good to see you too. Sorry I can't help you with any quests at the moment. Let's see, still looking for carbon, jackal, tortoise, scorpions. Still not carbon. I'm gonna go explore up here, see if we can circle our way through there. Don't know if it's possible, but we shall soon find out. There does seem to be some buildings up ahead. Ah, brigands. Okay, I have to remember this is a good place to farm brigands. Let's see if we can... I don't know if there's gonna be a way out of here on the other side. That chest is too tempting to not click on. Does seem to be enemies on the other side. Which makes me believe we can get through. Great, that's a dead end. Okay, here looks to be some open field again. Call me soon. Still no Krabon. So the Krabon is on the side. Let's keep going. There's the Tukis. The first Tuki we're coming across. Let's see how hard they are to kill. Not too bad. They do count as orcs, so let's hopefully get all the orcs. As I thought. Only spot where there are Krabon and okay. Well, let's see. I don't think I've got that stable, so we're just gonna mount up and go grab that one. Yay, we discovered the last spot. Okay, now
Meow! It is good to see you.
we're gonna take a stable to Ilzup.
Meow! It is good to see you.
Hoping we can find some Krabine over here. Yes, here's some birds. Krabon. This way. down there. Do I have that staple up there? Shangarash.
It is a new day.
Nope. I'm gonna coin it.
Hashdalgor, stranger.
Gotta go find that entrance over there. Well, that's a bit of a ride. Take a left at the big rock. Then up the river. Gotta cross somewhere. May as well just cross right here. I triggered something. A bird. Oh, we gotta make our way in here. You have to discover 2 curdle. like the look of this green fog. I can tell you that much. Okay, we should be able to sketch it right here. Alright, all done. Now it wants me to go back. I'm not riding all the way back. What I am gonna do is map there. Because my milestone is there. Come on.
I hope you faced little trouble among the canyons as you collected these items.
I will begin my study of them and see what effect the waking of the Tharduth might have upon the creatures that dwell here.
I heard the sounds of battle from here. I would have joined you, but Belondor asked that I not leave the camp.
He expressed some fear that once I began fighting the lesser orcs and their Utugi betters, I might not return, but instead continue deeper into the canyons in the grip of a powerful lust for combat. The rothog tilts his massive head to one side. Once in a while, Bellandor makes a good point, Meloa.
You have done as I asked, then?
Yes, the map you have drawn makes the location of Ashagir quite clear to me. Very good, my useful friend. This will help ensure safety during my journey to Ashagir. I need not fear an ambush by Nakasi.
Why speaks the dwarf kholtek of the fortress Ashagir?
While you were gone, he spoke of little else, and to anyone who would listen. You tell Rahazi that you understand he wishes to search for Azagal's sea shadow within that fortress, and she frowns. That was the last of the Hamati strongholds to fall to Ordek, and it is said that it was home to the largest stockpile of Nargak ever crafted by the sages of Hamat. They resisted the besieging Ordekai for a year and a day, but in the end the Hul of Ordek sent assassins on a moonless night to climb the cliff. After slaying the guards, they threw open the gates and the Ordekai army stormed the fortress. With no other choice remaining to him, Taldumu, last king of Hamat, set the stores of Nargak ablaze. We name him today the Shar who burned. No one within the fortress, defender or attacker, survived, and the fires burned for 6 days. When they finally went out, only ashes remained, along with the scraps of Taldumu's crown, melted into a tangle. If the dwarf kholtek goes to Ashagir, I suggest you keep a wary eye upon him. The stockpile of Nargak that once remained within burned long ago, but the fortress is an ill-omened tomb, the pyre of Hamat.
But that is not why I came to speak to you.
The wizard from the north has asked me to return to Ambarul with a message for my mother. He wants her to send as many Dumuri warriors as she can spare to us, to stand against these waking servants of Morgoth. You have allied yourself with the wizard before, Meloa. Have you known him to overreact to danger at any moment in the past? You confess that if Mithrandir believes he needs an army of warriors to face the Tharduth and their Utugi, he is probably correct. Rahazi nods slowly. That is what I suspected. Farewell to you, my friend. I will see you again as soon as I can, and let us hope my mother sends the warriors requested by your wizard.
We will need as many fighters as we can gather to face the waking Tharduth.
It is my plan to send the Kinta woman Silartus to the Oasis Groves, that she may return with elf warriors of that people. After all, their lands are threatened by the evil that stirs within Urushtar. It will not be contained without their help. I also wish to send one of the leaders of Umbar to return with as many Umbari soldiers as can be marshalled in haste. What is it that ruling body named the Kindred of the Coins? Who of these should go, Maloa? You consider the choices available to you, and decide only Balindor can be trusted to return quickly with a sizable force of Umbari soldiers. Mithrandir nods. Very well. If he is as respected in Umbar as you say he is, he will be best suited for this task. I ask you to tell him to depart at once, for the hour is late indeed. Then you must do the same for the Quinta Silartis. Return to me when they have departed.
What asks the wizard of me?
You should speak it aloud, though I believe I know already what my task must be. You tell Balindor that Mithrandir wants him to return to Umbar Barabel as quickly as he can, and to come back with a contingent of Umbari soldiers. I knew in my heart I would be called to do this. I cannot promise I will return with the number of soldiers the wizard wants, but I will return with as many as I can. Goodbye to you, Maloa. Take care of my friends in the company, and beware of the terrible creatures that lurk within Urushtar. I will see you again as soon as I may.
There is talk around the camp that the wizard seeks volunteers to bring reinforcements to Urashtar.
To face the servants of Morgoth. Is this true? You tell Silartis that Mithrandir wanted you to ask her if she would be willing to return to the Oasis Groves of Kintai with this request. I will of course do this, Maloa. First to Varchalin I will go, then to Shonith, and if the time can be spared, I will speak with Shanthar at Arwath. The Kintai must defend their groves, as they always have.
That is what I wish I could say.
But I cannot. If these Kintai reinforcements are needed with all haste, we can risk no delay. I know the untethered periods to which I succumb. I do not want to endanger the delivery of this message, or the return of enough Kintai warriors to face their ancient forgotten foes. I'm not the person to carry this message. Will you bear it on my behalf, Sigileth? Sigileth stares at Silartis in stunned surprise, knowing how difficult this admission must be for the Kinta elf. When she recovers, her voice is thick with emotion, and she speaks with understanding. I will do this, Silartis, fear not. Spend not a moment more thinking upon it. The Kintai will be told of our need, and I will return with as many as I can muster, and with utmost speed. Farewell, dear friend. Goodbye, Maloa. Take care of my brother, and make sure he does nothing foolish. It is in his nature to act first and think later, if he thinks at all.
The emissaries have departed? Good.
I hope they make haste. If they do not, they may find only our bodies remain, crushed beneath the heels of the Uturgi and their Tardith masters. Oh, yeah, gold tracery. Nice.
It may not come to that.
The Tardith have not woken in thousands of years, and the world is much changed since their dominion of Zakar threatened these lands. They may expect little in the way of opposition. I spoke with the elf Corodan while you sent the emissaries upon their urgent errands. From the description you gave to me, it appears the man you pursued here, Azagath Sea Shadow, is a Gurzul of Sauron. I believe in his search for the Nargak stockpile of which Corodan spoke, Azagath may find himself ensnared by the Tardith. Judging from the words of Magorlam of Thuringwrath, The Sirgons bore no love for Sauron. They suspected him of treachery and disloyalty to Morgoth. How will they treat with one of the Grzul, I wonder?
I am worried.
I overheard kholtek speaking to Rothog, and from his words it appeared that he believes he has discovered a lost cache of Nargok. Do you think it is true? Everything my sister told me about this substance fills me with fear. If kholtek has found a stockpile of the hungry fire, will you confront him about this discovery? We cannot simply stand by and allow the kindred of the coins to acquire such a thing.
What do you want?
You asked kholtek if Corridon misheard him concerning the dwarf's discovery of a lost stockpile of Nargok. Kholtek peers at you curiously. I have not discovered it yet, Maloa, but I am hopeful it will not be much longer now. It had been my plan to search the old Hamati fortress of Ashagir for just such a stockpile, but I had planned to search it alone. Now you can join me, and if Corridon the elf is so concerned about my comings and goings, he can join us as well. I will meet the two of you outside Ashagir, to the northwest. Your map was most clear to me, and I will have no difficulty finding the place. I trust you will have no problems joining me there. Okay. I gotta ride all the way back out there. Stable was closest. Shengarash.
Nihu! It is good to see you.
Where is he? Oh, he's all the way up there. Probably. Atop the northwest cliff. He's gonna be up there, so we're gonna have to fight our way in. I wonder how much sneaking around I can do. Not a lot. There has to be a path up there. These are definitely a little bit challenging. Nothing I can't handle, but still. Definitely an interesting place to explore. Wait, there's rings here. Where is he though, relative to me? I'm probably gonna turn it around. You have discovered Ashigir. Alright, I guess we'll see what Bazadar
This valley
wants.
belongs to the Shagani, and no one else.
Then I'm gonna be going in here anyways. Disappearing goods. Oh, hello there. I see that you have found your way up to Ashigir, Hunter. I am Bazadur, the leader of this small group. This is fortunate timing for your arrival. If you are willing, there is a problem here that needs an outsider's help. We have but few resources left here, so we must make everything last. Unfortunately, some of our supplies have gone missing, and no one will say a word. Would you investigate this matter for me in secret until we know more? I suggest you start by checking the supplies themselves for any clues as to who the thief might be. You can find the supplies nearby in the camp. Okay, here's some supplies.
What say you, traveler?
Greetings, Hunter. I am glad to see an adventurer such as yourself. I've been keeping track of the Kurgrim and Tikurdul below, and I begin to worry for our safety. The cliff itself is our only defense, and with the lift destroyed, we would be unable to escape should they choose to attack. As you travel down to Tikurdul and thin out the number of Kurgrim in the area, it would make us much safer here in Ashikir if you would. Here's another supply. And there's the last supply. And now we gotta return to Bazadur.
Is there something you need?
Did you find out anything while investigating the supplies? You tell Bazadur what you found. I see. Not much to learn from that as expected. They could not have vanished. Might I trouble you to check around for any clues you might find in the camp? There must be something. Drag marks? Food signs of crates that were removed. Found scraps of cloth used to cover the supplies. Kholtek grins widely at you, his eyes alight. Yeah, Kholtek, I'll be with you in a second. Burned note. Found pieces of burnt notes.
Travel with care, friend. Dangers are all about.
Did you find any new information about the missing supplies? You tell Bazadur about your discoveries around the camp. Is that so? It seems our thief may have made away with our supplies, and it could have been anyone here. The burnt notes lead me to believe they intend to sell our supplies for their own gain. With the lift broken, it would not be an easy task to take the supplies far from here. I know of a hideaway down near Nagundu, at the bottom of these cliffs, near the water to the northeast. The area is overrun with foul Kurgrim, though the spot I speak of would be a perfect place to hide. Ask that you go and investigate the hideout and see if you can learn anything more. If we cannot recover these supplies, we may need to abandon this place. Okay, I am not going to go all the way down right now. We are going to carry on with chapter 13 and go see what Kholtek is up to, since we are here.
Here we are.
Kholtek surveys the fortress of Ashigir. Ashigir once held the largest stockpile of Nargok ever collected in one place. Rather than surrender it to his enemies, the last Shar of Hamad set fire to it, consuming fortress, Shar, and stockpile. But perhaps some of the Nargok remained in sealed chambers below ground. It is my hope that some of that mighty stockpile escaped the conflagration, and you will help me find it. Does Cordon the elf find this distasteful?
If any member of the Kindred of the Coins finds a stockpile of Narjok, I believe we should know of it.
That is true of Azagoth or Nakasi, but is also true of Kholtek. I will help search for the fortress of the stockpile, but I hope we find nothing. Search the depths. I guess we're gonna go inside here. Tunnels beneath Ashagir. Alright, I am just gonna follow my right-hand rule. Either somebody just came here and cleared it all out, or there are no enemies here. Can this be the hidden cache of Nargok sought by Kholtek?
It is as I feared. A stockpile of Narjok survived the conflagration of Ashagir.
This chamber must have been sealed away sometime during the Hamati reign. When Talmudumu set the torch to the rest of the hungry fire, this chamber escaped the burning. The quakes that shook this land following the death feat of Sauron must have opened the way to the sealed chamber, Miloa.
Have you ever seen anything so beautiful as this undisturbed chamber?
Behold, the last surviving stockpile of the hungry fire, a weapon thought vanished from the world. I see the way forward now. The fortunes of my dominion are on the rise. A curious light glimmers in Kholtek's eye, and you are unable to determine if he speaks of the kindred of the coins, the corsairs of Umbar, or the Temamir of the shoreward stone.
But I must not get ahead of myself.
This Nargok cannot be transported anywhere until something can be done about the ancient evil that awakens in Urushtar. That will require something of which I am not particularly fond, a confrontation. We will return to Ilzak Kul and see what the wizard from the north has decided to do about these servants of Morgoth. Alright, he wants us to go back to Mithrandir. Let's write down and go do those 2 quests once we are here. So I'm guessing that's the broken lift they were talking about. It would make it a whole lot easier. Oh, maybe we can fix it. I like that idea.
Is there something you need?
You appear to be a capable adventurer. Perhaps you can provide some help. I'm doing what I can to repair the lift here in Ashagir. The path up is a treacherous one, and having the lift operational would be a great improvement. I could use some more wood for the repairs. You can find trees with suitable branches in the canyon below near the water. I ask that you gather some and return to me. There's a ladder. Yay, there's a ladder. That makes it so much easier. Okay, now I just have to remember where this ladder is at. Ladder is at 20.1 south and 69.9 west. Alright. That'll make it a whole lot easier. I'm glad I found that ladder. Alright, we're looking for Kurgrim, the hideout, and wood. No cave down here. Disappearing goods. Okay, it's in this area. Must be a cave or something. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go around. Maybe on the other side? Oh, here's the tree. Get these trees well in here. Ah, there's a body. Found the hideout. Identified the thief. I gotta check missing supplies. Pick them back up. Now all that's left is some more wood and some Kurgrim. Now let's kill some Kurgrim. Alright, I'm gonna ride back to the rope ladder. Nice.
This valley belongs to the Shagani, and no one else. What say you, traveler?
Ah, you return in one piece. Have you found anything? You give Buzzitor the supplies and describe the body of the thief you found. Buzzitor's expression turns to a frown. The man you described, it matches the description of Serticus. It must have been him then who took our supplies. He wished to flee this place, and this must have been his attempt to do so. He might have succeeded if the Kurgrim had not gotten to him first. I will tell the others. Even though he stole from us, I am sorry for his fate. He was a friend. I thank you for all you have done for us this day.
What say you, traveler?
You have returned. I have noticed less activity of us of late from down in Turkurdul. I am to believe that this is your doing? We shall be much safer now because of what you have accomplished here. I thank you. Okie Now, I am going to map. We want to end up in Ilzag Ghoul. We may have to go to Upanishir first. What options do I have? Ritter, Jirush, Burmuk. I think Urmok, maybe? We'll see. Nah, Urmok is wrong. Maybe I can get it. Let's see what my stable options are. Maybe we should try Marush first. Yeah, Marush was the right call.
What say you, traveler?
Ashtalgur, stranger.
Ilzak, cool. Still trying to get used to all these names. I apologize for my coughing tonight, but still dealing with a little bit of asthma. Okay. Let's go talk to Mithrandir.
Few dwell here, but Legolas and Gimli have spoken with a small number of huntsmen and trappers among the canyons.
They report an increase of dangerous creatures beside the river flowing from the northeastern reaches of Urashtar. That is the direction from which the Utugi come, Loa. Their masters must remain within a hidden place somewhere near the source of the river. It is time for us to confront the seer ones. The walk will be a long one, but we must remain alert to the threats as we proceed. The journey will become more dangerous as we near the hiding place of the Thardith. Meet Glorfindel. Where? All the way up there. Okay, we're gonna stable to Nerizik.
It is a new day.
Okay. Let's talk to Glorfindel.
The creatures that prowl outside the river channel grow in danger and ferocity.
It was wise of Mithrandir to direct us to follow the river as we approach the secret dwelling of the Thardith. We must be prepared for anything. Neither I nor Gandalf have been tested by the seer ones, neither in this nor any age of the world. And since the epic has now sent us to this town, we may as well pick up all the quests in this area. So let's do the first one.
Is there something you need?
Hunter, I'm glad to see you here. We here have been battling with the Anaki in their cave, Dul Rock, nearby. I ask that you help us to turn the tide, as we are needed in many places since Utukbur was opened. If you can, go to Dul Rock and find their cave. Inside you must cleanse it of these vicious scorpions that the Anaki worship.
Travel with care, friend. Dangers are all about.
Adventurer, you seem worthy enough to join our efforts. The opening of the demon pits nearby has unleashed hordes of orcs into these lands, and we mean to push them back. I ask you to help thin their numbers. They can be found throughout the area of Urustar, though you may find a concentration of them in the camps to the north and east of here.
This valley belongs to the Shagani, and no one else.
Greetings, Hunter. If you are willing, I could use your help as we are running low on some of our supplies here. I am in need of some red and yellow wildflowers, as well as some berries. You can find the wildflowers nearby, but you may find the berries along the river's edge. Let's see what Legolas has to say.
Neither I nor Gimli know what awaits us at the end of this journey.
Perhaps if we had some idea of how the Tharduth remained hidden for so long, but alas, we must be ready for anything. That's a wasp. The Gorge of Woe. Okay, looks like we gotta go down. There's Gandalf.
Yes, I see now. I understand how the Tharduth remained hidden for so long.
When they sealed the doors of the sanctuary, the seer ones changed the course of the river, hiding the face of the temple with a new cascade. They then pulled down the cliff face to completely mask their location and remained hidden for the ages to follow. The quakes that followed the fall of Sauron shook the earth, changing the cliffs and revealing the entrance to Utuk-Bur.
Is it true that the foes we must face were once of my people? Are they truly beyond saving now?
This must be the cruelest of Morgoth's hurts, a wound deep enough to persist so many thousands of years after his defeat.
We are being watched.
I cannot see who watches us, but I feel their eyes upon us. Can you feel them too?
We will together approach Utugbor.
Let us hope the great courage possessed by our small number, will give us safety as we pass beyond the falls.
The hidden temple of the Tharduth stands before us.
Steel resolve, Miloa. We know not the precise nature of the evil we go to face, but we will face it all the same.
Forward, my friends, with courage! You are the one called Azagath Sea Shadow, Gurzul of Sauron?
Sauron is dead, old man. I have allied myself with a greater power now. Kholtek! Rothog! My new friends have promised to serve the interests of the kindred. Will you join hands with me, as you did before?
We have found our quarry, Miloa. The journey that brought us from Umbar Barabel as allies is at its end. We have found Azagath, but it seems someone else found him first. Kholtek glances at you briefly, but says nothing. All of his attention is fastened upon Azagath.
The Seer Ones keep no promises, save to Morgoth.
When they found me, they were full of questions.
They desired to know the state of things in the world. They agree that our enemies are theirs, Rothog. They will begin with Gondor, as we planned. What say you, my friends?
I say no, Azagath. My way is Hailsea. Freedom. There will be no freedom beneath the heel of your new masters.
I believed you to have wisdom, despite your kind, Rothog. I mourn to have been wrong. What say you, Kholtek? I value success above all, Azagath. How will these Tharduth, these Seer Ones, defeat our enemies? They possess ancient sorceries even Sauron mastered not. The orcs they command are larger and deadlier than his own. You dare turn your back on me?
Ancient sorceries? Deadly orcs?
You wish to trade one Dark Lord for another, Azagath. The kindred of the coins will not serve such a master as this.
Mithrandir, an army of reinforcements approaches. Shagani warriors and Kinta elves march beside the river.
Surrender now, Azagath, and we will show you mercy.
There will be no mercy here, old man. Your lives must now be measured in minutes. Goodbye, dead ones.
Now entering the dagor... something, okay.
We could not avoid this battle. We are now all that stands between these servants of Morgoth and the rest of Middle-earth.
With foul sorcery, the Tharduth make the falls run as red as blood, and by that name will this battle be known, dagor carlanthir, the battle of the red waterfall. We could not avoid this battle. We are now all that stands between these servants of Morgoth and the rest of Middle-earth.
We are lucky indeed that the Shagani warrior arrived with her mother's fighters.
For without them we could not long stand against such numbers. The Demuri fight fiercely, but Azagath has not yet returned to the field, and I fear when he does, he will not be alone. The Tharduth wait to see the strength of our opposition. Press forward and lend your assistance where you may, Miloa. The battle rages all about us, and your friends have need of you. Alright, Rahazi.
The Demuri of Ambarul will neither back down nor retreat.
We will not relinquish a single step to these foes. Miloa, find my mother somewhere to the north and learn from her one of the great tales of old Shagana. To hear those names recounted will inspire the Demuri to greater heights of combat prowess when they need it the most.
There are not enough of us to maintain a complete defensive line.
Sorry, what is the... Oh, first I'm gonna make sure I got the titles correct. Ambarul. Yes. See you not the holes in our defense? Go to the waterfall ahead of me to the northwest and try to fill the gap there. You must battle the enemies that seek to take advantage of our limited numbers. Do not leave that spot until you have stayed there long enough to make a difference. Afterward, you should find Gimli and see if he knows of a similar gap in our defensive line. The north. Okay.
We will not know defeat!
We must triumph, or the lands that lie behind us will suffer terrible torments at the hands of these vile creatures. Rahazi is right in this, Miloa. Our people should be reminded of the great heroes that came before us. Sing a song of the great hero Shuruk-Nin to the fighting Demuri, and they will fight more fiercely than ever before. The melody is not as important as the words themselves. Sing of Shuruk-Nin as she fought the great dragon of Akizi, the winged terror. Sing of Shuruk-Nin's powerful allies among elves, both the ancient Kintai of the Emerald Wood and the more distant elves who gifted her the mighty sword Rothog. Sing of how she slew orcs by the thousands, These names of our great histories will inspire the Midimuri who hear them. Singing a song. Okay. Sing another song. The sing of Shiknin and her allies among the Kinta elves long ago. You sing of Shirknin and her mighty elf-forged sword, rothog. You sing of Shirknin slaying thousands of orcs.
These songs of our great hero Shorognin have stirred my heart and those of the other Durori.
The melody was unfamiliar, Miloa, but we knew the words. They have done as my mother wished, and our people fight more fiercely than before. What named the wizard this battle? Dagor carlanthir? To my people it will be the Sabudamar, the Red Rush battle, and perhaps it will one day number among the great songs of the ambarul. How about Legolas? We gotta go to the waterfall northwest of him, which should be over here. You have to defend this location as long as secure for your enemies. Looks like we gotta stand here for a minute. Do not leave the waterfall for a minute. You have secured the northwest waterfall. Alright, now I gotta go find Gimli in all this mess.
I cannot be everywhere at once!
You will have to fill the gaps in our defenses. Legolas had the same idea? Then you can assure him it was a good one, for I have a sharp mind for such things. But go to the waterfall to my southeast and defend it until you have made a difference as you did at the other. gonna keep coming, so I'm gonna run away. Gotta go to find Legolas.
Let us hope your defensive work at those locations showed the orcs the folly of seeking to slip past our line.
The battle shows no sign of nearing its end, but I have not yet begun to tire. I am certain Gimli would say the same. I've got another one up ahead. Feed. Gotta defeat a lot of orcs. Okay. Oh, there's Sirgon.
I am not as young as once I was, but I can still fight!
I will not have Balindor return from his city with reinforcements to see me cowering behind the line of battle. Let us slay as many orcs as we can, Meloa, and protect the lives of our friends and the homes we left behind. Gotta go find some skirmishers. Those are all warriors that are spawning over there.
There is no end to these creatures! Good!
That means there is still glory to be won, and we will win it. I have not engaged in combat like this for years, Meloa. I will not let down my friends for Lebennin and for Gondor. Let's go talk to Gandalf. Give him an update.
An evil will tests my defenses.
I cannot pinpoint from where the sorcery comes, but I know it must lie within Utukbur. One of the Tharduth seeks to know who defies his people, and he challenges my resolve. Worry not for me. My defenses hold for the time being. Return to where the fighting is thickest, and lend your aid to your friends once again. You have heard that knowledge is power. It is true. Battles are won by the side that obtains the most intelligence. Hunt the goblin spies that scamper throughout the battlefield, Miloa. They should pose little danger to you, but while they live, they can deliver messages to their masters. We must stop the delivery of these messages if we wish to attain the upper hand in this battle. Okay. Goblin spy. Okay. The respawn rate for these are very quickly, so I'm just gonna stand quiet here. Find Balakad, south of Mithrandir's position. Okay.
When Sigileth, the elf, came to the oasis to speak with the Kintai, I listened to the message she brought.
She spoke of the great evil waking in these canyons, but I did not expect. Balakat's eyes are wide as he stares about himself at the boiling mass of orcs. I wanted to see it for myself, but no longer. No longer. And he runs away.
You have slain some of the goblin spies? Good!
Attacking an enemy's sources of knowledge may at times be more effective than wounding him directly. Knowledge is power, my lover. Never forget that.
Have you yet broken a sweat? I'm instructing these orcs in the folly of facing the kindred of the coins.
Arshak hungers for direction, Miloa. There are spy masters working for the orcs, and they call out the battle plans from a high ground to the south. Beyond where stands the wizard. Find these orc spy masters and point them out to Harshuk so he can disrupt their plans. He said south. Looking for... Point at Kraslak. Alright, let's see if I can find Kraslak. Nope, it's not here. Don't think I can get up there. I'm just gonna follow this arrow. There he is. Right above Mithrandir's camp. Okay. Point. And there goes Harshuk. Leaps into action. There's another one. Gadruth. He's on this side, looks like. He's up there. Go Harshuk. And back to Rothog.
Together, you and Hurshout have disrupted our opponent's battle plan.
Well done, Miloa. Victory cannot be far away now.
I saw how the warriors of Ambarul responded when you invoked the name of their great hero.
Let us similarly inspire the elves. Take this elfstone and hold it aloft in the company of the Aldar. May it shine as a beacon against the darkness that threatens to spill from Utukbur. Okay, now I just gotta fight the elves. Here's Eladan and their elves. Here we go. She's on Eladan and Elra here, and then Sirgon. Solartis and sigileth was up here. Oh, aloft to inspire Legolas next. Sorry. Gotta go back to Legolas. And then sigileth.
Orcs fear and hate the light of the Elfstone you carry, even as it renews my own determination to triumph!
I returned as quickly as I could with some of the avant-garde Kintai, and they fight bravely in defense of their groves and their people. But you should know something, Maloa. Balakad was not yet fully recovered from his injuries, but he followed my small band of Kintai reinforcements here from Shonuk. I saw him at times from a great distance, pursuing us as we came north. I know not where he is now, but he may watch the battle from afar, waiting to see which side prevails. Yeah, he already ran away from the battle, so not surprising. Here you go, Glorfindel.
Thank you for bringing the light of the Elfstone to bear during the battle.
We will fight on. We have no choice but to prevail. Head back to Gandalf.
You have come back, but the fighting persists.
Mithrandir's voice is weary with strain, his face haggard and drawn. The Tharduth remain within their temple, Maloa. We must count that a blessing. Mithrandir falls silent, his attention focused upon a distant, invisible foe.
Mithrandir is in trouble. Is there nothing we can do to help him?
If the Tharduth emerge from within the temple, Corodan stares at you with the dawning realization. We have to prevent the Tharduth from leaving Utukbur. I know what we have to do. Alright, Corodan.
We need to seal the entrance of Utukbur before the Tharduth emerge to finish us.
We need to retrieve the hungry fire from Ashagir. I will tell Rothog we have need of his strength.
We must reach the hidden chamber before it is too late.
Azagath and his Tharduth masters may not know why we have returned to Ashagir, but if they marked our passage here, they will try to stop us. We must be prepared for anything as we return to that sealed chamber, Maloa. The fortress is more unstable than I thought. This straight way to the chamber has been blocked since last we came here. We have to circle around. Rothog moves at his own pace. You will have to accept it. Talk to Rothog. We are fortunate the room has not been sealed once more. I know of this Nagak, this hungry fire, only by its evil reputation. I will carry as many of the crates as I can safely hold, Maloa, but if they should come alight, I will ensure neither you nor Corodan the Elf escape the burning. If I am to perish in a conflagration of Nargak, so too will you. See that I do not. Alright, I'll make sure you don't die, Rothog. Dr. Gandalf.
There you are. To where did you disappear? No, it matters not.
Did you see the arrival of Bellador? He returned at the head of an army of Umbari soldiers, and they have joined the battle. My own battle with my unseen Thardith opponent is at a low ebb. He has relaxed his onslaught for the moment, perhaps to change to a more successful tactic. It may be the tide is near to turning.
It is good to see you are well.
When I set out for Umbarbarabel, I believed your wizard might wait to begin fighting the battle until I returned with my army, but it turns out that was not in his plan. But we are here now, and there is no shortage of orcs to fight. But where are the ancient creatures of which he spoke? Where are these corrupted elves?
Is Osgoth here? I have business with the Sea Shadow.
Let us push forward. My blade hungers for the blood of betrayers. Let us fight alongside the soldiers that marched with me to battle. Lead on, Miloa. Go to the front line. I must have missed the spot. Sirgon has sustained a grievous wound, but his allies still fight to defend him.
It is bad.
Sirgon stood his ground against one of the great Utugi as it bore down upon us, but he saw not the smaller creature that followed in the wake of the huge orc. A small, spindly goblin. It stuck him a dozen times with its knife before we noticed. Eladan lowers his voice until you can only just hear him over the sound of the fighting. He will not survive this battle, Miloa. We have done all we could.
I cannot see your face. Are you all right?
The battle is not over, is it? I can hear the fighting. How are we doing? Over the sound of fighting, you hear Corodan calling for you to the east.
We have to place the Najak around the entrance, or it will be too late.
If the Tharduth emerged from Utukbur, it is all over, Miloa. Can you hear me?
This will be our only chance. We have to collapse the entrance before the Tharduth emerge!
Alright, let's
I
go
wish
do
we
it.
need not make use of the hungry fire, but we have no choice.
If the Tharduth were truly once of my people, I want to do my part in sealing them away, Miloa. I and Corodan will set the Nargok to the right of the entrance. You and Sigileth can place the Nargok on the left side. We will seal the entrance to Utukbur, and these fallen Kintai will no longer trouble the world. Alright, Sigileth, let's get this done.
What are you doing?
Check on the group on the other side. Frozen, unmoving figures stand near at hand.
We can still hurt you. Our pawn has teeth. See you not the madness in his eyes?
In desperation, you call her name, but Solartis remains frozen, unaware of the evil that threatens her.
You cannot prevent this. This is beyond your power.
No! Siluritas! Asaga! Now you die!
Sigileth, no!
Oh boy, she ran inside, and we're about to blow it up. Solartis, hoping against hope, you check the Kinta Elf for some sign of life. There are none to be found. Solartis is dead.
What can we do? We are out of time! We must seal the entrance, but my sister is still inside. What do we do?
I beg you, Miloa. We have to rescue Sigileth before the entrance is sealed. Of course we do.
We will be quick! We have to be!
We will not have much time to bring Sigileth back out of the darkness, Miloa. If the Nargok explodes while we are still inside, Corodan shakes his head firmly. We will be quick. We have to be. Hurry now, my friend. There is no time to waste.
Great evil resides within this place. We should find my sister and get out of here.
Hurry, Miloa. We have little time to waste.
Sigileth wounded these creatures, but she did not stay to finish them. We can go no further. We would not have the time to escape. Call for her! It is all we can do!
Choose your words with care, and call for Sigileth to return to you. Call it to the darkness. Remember me. Remember yourself. Remember your brother. Remember the hidden guard. Remember Cruel Dancer. Remember Solartis. I'm gonna say remember yourself. Your voice echoes along the walls of the corridor. Silence returns. Okay, that didn't work. Remember your brother? Your voice echoes along the walls of the corridor. The echoes fade away and the corridor is once again silent. Remember me? There is no response. Remember the hidden guard? There is no response to your call. Remember Solartis? The echoes die away and all is still once again.
Sigileth! We are out of time! We have to leave! Run!
Come on, Coradan. Pick up the pace. Day pass, and the ruler and Umbar anxiously awaits news. Jajax. What? I'm confused. Okay. We'll just go with it. What did you see, Dax? An army approaches Umbar? You tell Jajax that a great force of soldiers emerged from Ambarul, drawing even with Telperian's wall, but they raised no banner, and you could not discern their loyalties. Did you see Miloa among them? Or perhaps Belendor leads these men? Is this army the same that he took with him in haste, or is it an army of Airsworn come to take the city? I'm not bringing Harmelech these tidings, Dax. I leave that to you. Alright, let's go talk to Harmelech. What is it? I can see from your face you have tidings to share, but you fear they will be unwelcome. Speak them, and I will decide if it is so. You tell Harmelech that an army approaches the city, but you were unable to see who leads it or what their intentions may be. Harmelech purses their lips, deep in thought. When Belendor asked to bring soldiers to battle in the lands to the east, I told him I needed time to think upon it. He waited not for my answer, but took the soldiers and marched within the hour. Such disrespect cannot be allowed, but it is said that when commanders of men taste victory in battle, they can at times desire more and more. If Belendor leads this returning army, will he think to use it to take control of the city? Or perhaps this is an army of Airsworn. If Balak had escaped capture by the party sent to retrieve him, his survival could prove a beacon to his folk. Thinks he overthrown the kindred of the coins? But from where could this army have come? You suggest to Harmelech that there may be a third possibility. She considers you carefully. What is the third possibility, tidings bearer Daxamat? You suggest that the army may be tired from battle in the east, and the soldiers may simply want to return home. In this you see the guidance of Miloa, a hero who knows when to fight and when not to fight. Harmelek weighs your suggestion. We will see if you are right, Daxamat. We will see. Send word to the scouts that whoever leads his army is to be brought before me at once. Days earlier in the aftermath of dagor carlanthir. Break the rubble beside the collapsed entrance to Utukbur. I'm still in an instance here. Aloha, has anyone ever told you you are such a bother? Sigileth smiles up at you weakly. Thank you, my dear friend, she murmurs quietly. Yay, we found her. Okay.
And so the battle ends in victory for the united forces of Shagana, Umbar, and Gondor.
I can still feel the presence of the Tharduth with whom I strove. His hatred and his anger burn still in the darkness of Utukbur like a beacon, but his rage is unfocused, and it will be some time before he or his kind can emerge to trouble Middle-earth again. The threat of the Tharduth has been reduced, but it is not eliminated. Other bolts of like kind to Utukbur may lie just beneath the surface. The breaking of the gaze of Morgoth means the occupants of these other hidden strongholds now stir restlessly, their long slumber nearing its end. I believe the dominion of Zikhar stretched across much of Shagana, after all. If the deathly spirit that told me of its existence can be believed, what cause would it have to lie to me, Meloa? The wizard sighs, and you see the faintest hint of a smile beneath his beard. It seems I have made a habit of giving you bad tidings, my friend. I was named Lathspell once, in a distant land, ill news, and if I keep going at this rate, you will begin calling me that too. So here are some good tidings. By your deeds and those of your friends and allies, a great evil has been opposed. The Tharduth will not rise again for some time, at least. And this is a new cloak. Don't need outgoing healing. I like that in combat power regen. That's a tank piece. We'll go with this one, I think. It's definitely an upgrade, so... yeah, we'll take that.
But the cost of this victory was high.
Oh! I just realized I've been fighting without any... any of my, jewelry. No wonder I was struggling so much. Okay. I will pick up here next time. Thank you so much for watching, and happy